This is Visiblepreneur, the podcast that promotes and grows your business. From local, here in St. Charles County, to around the globe. Attract more customers to your business. And here's your host, the Isaiah Bentley.
All right, everyone, welcome to Visiblepreneur. This is officially take 2 because of an error that happened on my part. That's what happens when you don't check the audio, so bad on me for that. Isn't that right?
It's quite all right. I don't mind coming again.
All right, awesome. So today's episode, we have this lovely young lady that's here. She's going to talk more about what she does. But before we get into that, let's get into our 2 sponsors. So the first one is Aspire to Inspire. I nearly forgot that. And that is by Janet Martin. She is a co-host. She's John Maxwell certified. She helps bring out the leader within you. And if I got it right, and it'll be in the description and on the video as well, JMR Sources. And she does voiceover work as well too. .com. Our second sponsor is the Sound Frequency, providing audio-visual services for events. So if you need to have a birthday party, wedding, corporate event, or any kind of speaking engagement, no DJ services, give the Sound Frequency a call or look up the website, thesoundfrequency.com. So with that being said, Kimberly Levin here, this is our guest for today. She is a very inspirational coach. I almost want to say life coach, but I know that I'm wrong on that.
Success and mindset.
Success and mindset. Yeah, there we go. Yes. So she's going to talk more about what she does, and she even has a process, and I'll let her explain that'll fix that problem that's going on mentally. So with that being said, welcome back officially for the second time.
Thank you so much for having me. It is a pleasure to be back here again, and it's always fun to talk with you, so I don't mind at all.
Oh, yeah. Thank you. So tell us more about what do you do with success and mindset, even though that's not the name of your business.
I most certainly, the business name is my name.
so
easy.
Right, Kimberly Levin, LLC. Right,
yes.
There we go.
Yes, easy to remember. Well, like you said, I'm a success and mindset coach, and I'm certified in neuro-linguistic programming. I know you're familiar with that.
Yeah.
And my process, I work with business owners, entrepreneurs, successfully driven people that are wanting to get to higher levels in their business, but maybe they're stuck or they're struggling because something's going on in their business or in their relationships. And I've got a unique process that fixes it in 4 hours or less.
4 hours or less. Jeez. Now, that's definitely a long session, but what has been your success rate of doing so?
It's never not worked, to be quite honest.
Okay, yeah, no, and that's all we need to know right there.
Yes.
So, as you're helping clients go through the process of changing their mindset, I guess what is it I'm looking for is that do you work with day-to-day clients, or do you mostly just focus on the entrepreneurs?
I'm a combination. I do see more business owners and entrepreneurs that are, and the reason I think is because they value personal growth, and they see how it affects their business. So they know that if their mindset isn't in the right place, or if something's, affecting them and they aren't able to move forward, they know that it affects their bottom line. And that's why I work with the people that I do, because I guess they appreciate it, they value it, and they're always looking to do more.
Yeah, I definitely agree with that, because, and I don't know if it's statistic or not, but entrepreneurs have the biggest visions that's out there, and we tend to act up on it. So I can understand why people in that area would need the most help, if that makes sense.
Yes, and it's not that they need the most help. I think everybody needs help.
Yeah, no, for
but
sure.
But they are the ones that, I guess, recognize it and see it, and are more likely to act on doing something about it.
Yeah, And now definitely gotta ask, how did you get into coaching? Was this a passion that you were always wanting to do?
I kind of fell into it, actually. It's a good story,
Oh yeah,
which I'll
tell it.
tell you. Well, I mean, why I do what I do. I grew up in a home that was really verbally abusive. There was other abuse going on there as well. And that affected everything in my life. It affected my health. It affected my relationships. I was a huge train wreck through high school, college. I was suicidal. I mean, I was really a mess. And in my striving to try and figure out and fix me, I actually started out as a health coach because my health was really a mess. And it's a funny story because did a diet, fixed a lot of problems, and then I had a doctor that was like, "Hey, can you coach my patients?" So that it was just kind of handed to me. But as I was coaching people, because I was working with people that had a lot of autoimmune, I noticed, also had past stuff like I did. I thought that's really interesting. And so I started diving more and more into the mindset piece. And I've been studying NLP, neuro linguistic programming, for a really long time. So
Wow.
so I started out. I know you're familiar with one program. I started out in a different one. I did that for 7 or 8 years, just studying and following. And then I got certified under another program, and then I followed another one as well. And so I just saw so many shifts and things that actually worked versus the seminars and the books and the counseling and all the other things I did. This was the only thing that really, really helped. And I knew if it could help me, it could help others.
Oh, absolutely. And I love how we both like know the neurolinguistics program. I mean, obviously, you know more than I do because you've done a whole bunch of other levels to that. So when you said that you were, what's the word? Oh yeah. So when you said that you were basically just coaching the clients, were you doing it on the neurolinguistics level? Like, did it eventually transition to where you might have been helping those same clients do that?
I started out with health coaching. So, but I
Right.
started transitioning to more mindset and positive thinking. And some of it was NLP, but some of it was not.
Mm-hmm.
And it wasn't until 2018 that I fully transitioned to, more the end of 2018, 2019, that I transitioned to the process that I'm using now. I've tweaked it along the way because, I've also getting certified in something called Evolved NLP, and it's like NLP with a twist.
Oh,
So
never heard of it.
and it's, there's some, it's the secret sauce, I guess, in the process and getting people really fast results. So one thing that I was always good at, even when I was health coaching, is I was good at hacking the process and making it shorter. And and that's something that I've been able to do with this as well.
No, that's awesome. So you're kind of like our IT hacker, but except in the brain.
Yes. Love that.
Oh gosh, yeah, no, I literally just came up with that. And so, also too, is that have you seen a change within, not just within yourself, but like within family, like how you approach them? Because one of the things that you and I both know is that you can't be part of the problem if you're trying to fix it.
Yes. Yeah. I have seen a change in my family. I haven't worked directly with my family. Well, not any major work. We've done little things. But because I'm different and because I'm responding differently than I used to, they are responding differently to me. So I have seen changes in them, and I just think when we change, even the people that are around us, they're going to change too, because there's this vicious cycle of how you respond to things.
Mm-hmm.
And then their response back, and then your response, and how you're holding it in. And when you start not responding the way you used to whatever it was, then they change too.
That's interesting. Is was it a lady once said, and matter of fact, it was pretty much the LLP that I'm going through, was that when you see the world differently, it changes around you, like the way that you see it. Am I right?
Oh, totally. Yeah, your perception is everything. I mean, I just that's the part of the process. One of the ways I like to explain it is whenever, if you could pretend like everybody was born with a pair of glasses, and every time something happens, you get a splotch, a smudge here, and then you're viewing every decision, every behavior, everything you do is viewed through those glasses. And what this process has the ability to do is it has the ability to clean up the glasses so you can put them on and see clearly, and then you're making decisions, your behaviors and everything is different.
Yeah, no, that's very interesting you say that, because it's almost like going through the Gestalt in a way, except that that's a little bit different.
Yes, well, so, it is
yeah. And also too, I gotta ask, is that when you went through networking, because I'd say you came in, or I'm sure you've probably been network longer than I have, but what's been your experience going through there and, speaking in front of a crowd? Has that been an overcoming challenge for you?
It has, because in the beginning when I started, oh my gosh, I mean, back then it was for the health coaching business. I had been a stay-at-home mom for a number of years and walked into networking, and I was just so overwhelmed and scared. And I used to hold up a card and I'd read it, and I mean, just terrified. And now I love getting in front of the room. I love talking and speaking, and that's been it's been a huge overcoming thing. But there's a number of things that have led to that.
Yeah, that's interesting, because I remember the time that it was my turn to speak, and you had gave me, I guess it was a quote. Do you remember what it was?
I do remember what it was, and I actually gave this advice to somebody this morning. I visited a networking meeting, and somebody was speaking for the first time ever, doing a 10-minute. And I told her the same thing I told you, is that if you have anxiety, if you can imagine what it's going to be like 15 minutes after the event. Does that ring a bell?
Yes.
Yeah. And then it just kind of melts the anxiety away.
Yeah, it does. And this is just for me, as once I start to speak, then usually about a minute or two in, then I just relax and kind of remember what I'm going to say, as long as I don't freak out or so.
Right.
Because we're always so judgmental, and I'm sure you've dealt with that before. We're always so judgmental, like, oh gosh, how's the speech going to come out? What are they going to think about me? And, and I'm sure you've seen that with your other clients as well too, right?
Oh, totally. And I mean, some of that can be good if you're using the judgmental, or whatever you want to call it, if you're using it as a way to improve, like, how can I make this better? But if you're using it as a way to just put yourself down, that's not good.
Yeah. And also too, because not many people know about it, but tell us a bit about how the subconscious mind works.
Well, there's that could be a huge segment of this.
Yeah.
I mean, it's 90% of what we do is ran by our subconscious mind. So a little bit of what I said before, because all your perception, all those things that have happened to you, those are coming out of your subconscious mind. They're coming out of it, and that's how your behaviors and all of those things, that's how it works. So, I mean, there's certain, I guess, rules of the subconscious mind that it does. I mean, it stores our memories. It represses memories. There's so many different facets of it. It's fascinating. It really is fascinating. And that's why I believe that if you're looking to change or really get to a different level of success, getting to it at the subconscious level is key. Because otherwise, it's just like if you go to, and this is what I did for years, reading books, going to seminars over and over and over and over again, reading affirmations, and it wasn't getting to what was the root. It wasn't. It was just like a Band-Aid.
Wow, that's interesting. And one of the other things that I definitely remember, and I'm sure you've passed this on to your clients too, is that, I draw a blank on it now, but it's choice is a powerful decision and suffering is
Choice
optional.
is a powerful thing. Suffering is
Powerful
optional.
thing. Yes.
We got it together.
Yeah, that's it. And I remember that to this day, but I've always remembered the decision part. And I was like, crap. So now that I know it's a powerful thing and suffering is optional. That's true.
Yeah, and it is about our choices, and it doesn't mean that people don't suffer, but it's how you respond to the suffering. You have a choice on how you respond.
Absolutely. And how has COVID affected your business?
I actually, COVID, so this is interesting, and I know a lot of other people can relate to this, but I really took a step back from my business during COVID. We pulled one of my kids out of school. We didn't really have a choice in some respects for a little while. But because of that, I really, just with all the things going on, I took the opportunity to really look inward and really decide what I wanted and what I thought was important. And I've been able to design my business around that. And so now, I mean, I focus on really one thing, and that's, my 4-hour process. And it's given me an opportunity to serve people even better.
Yeah, that's really fantastic.
Yeah, I mean, COVID was good for me. The pandemic's been good for me because it's really brought my thoughts and everything into alignment. Our family's closer together. So just a side note, all those, days that my husband was home and working from home, and we'd take breaks and go for walks in the middle of the day. I mean, it was nice. It was good for the whole family.
Yeah. And matter of fact, that's like to stay away from conspiracies, that's like the only positive thing that mainstream media has ever said that has brought families together.
Yes.
So I'll just leave it as that.
Yes. Good
I will
choice.
just leave it as that. But I just happened to remember that because I was like, well, yeah, it does. It literally did bring families together.
Yeah.
So that's
and it was good for my business too, because coming out of it, when I decided that I would get things going and moving again, and it wasn't that I didn't do it at all, but I definitely slowed it down during those months that we were doing homeschool and dealing with all that. My business has really taken off to a point that I didn't even know would be possible. So.
Yeah, no, that's awesome. And with the power of Zoom, I'm sure that you use that to its full potential.
Yes. I actually meet everybody on Zoom.
Ah, okay.
So, and that's been a huge key too, that I wouldn't have, before COVID, I would meet some people in person, some people on Zoom, but I found that my Zoom clients are able to stay more focused, and honestly, the 4-hour would be probably 5 or 6 if we were in person.
Yeah, I kind of wanted to ask about that, but I was like, okay, maybe it might have gone longer or shorter.
Yeah. And in all honesty, 4 hours is the longest it takes. Most people, I'm able to work on them with, 3.5.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah, that's really cool. And now that you are where you are today, and I'm sure that your ventures are going to go far beyond that you've seen, how is it that you see your days now versus just, you were doing what you're doing before, and now you're really passionate about it?
Oh, that's changed. I mean, I've become more consistent with my business. I have more of a routine and a groove with what I'm doing, as far as there's so much of our businesses that's marketing and promoting ourselves on social media. Love it or hate it, you still,
right.
That's a piece, but it's really those pieces that I used to kind of dread. I never, in the past, I didn't like marketing myself. But now it's not, I like it. I like doing those. I like doing the pieces that I didn't like doing before, and it's because of the passion, because I know that I can help people.
Yeah, and like you said, this was something that happens. That's something that happened to you on accident. Because wouldn't you say that it's amazing that our true passions come out by accident versus just we were pre-programmed as a child to, oh hey, get up, go to school, get a job, get a good career in a high-paying field, which that's not as easy to do.
Yeah, totally.
Yeah, but let's see. But yeah, wouldn't you agree that there's something that was just like pre-installed as a child, and then we have to learn for ourselves and then break out of that process?
Oh, totally. And I just think, it's interesting. My husband and I have this conversation a lot, is how many people we know that went to college and they went into a certain field or whatever, and then they're not doing it later because they're following their passion, or they're just kind of falling into, whatever opportunities, life gives them. So I think it happens a lot. It's whenever you can take whatever that is, and especially if you can turn it into your own business. That's really where it's at, where you're not working for somebody else and you're not having to go by their rules and all those things. That's not for everybody.
Right.
But if you are able to do that, you can do things on a much bigger level, and really, it's limitless.
Yeah, absolutely. And that's why it's like, man, I've discovered so much, and I'm sure you have too. So yeah, it is really, really wonderful, the positive things that you can see that's just escapes us at times.
Totally.
So
Yes, totally.
So the last question I wanted to ask is that where can they go to follow you? Because you do a lot of lives on Facebook.
I do. So I am on social media and love it now. So you can go to my personal page, Kimberly Lebbing. It's just my name. I'm on LinkedIn. I have a private Facebook group. And you can go to my website too. It's KimberlyLebbing.com, and I've got a PDF you can download on how I helped a business owner go from zero business to over $1 million in 12 months.
Wow, that's pretty good.
It's a cool story.
It sure is. I'm like, what the heck? How come I didn't read this myself? So now I gotta.
Now you gotta go download that.
Absolutely. So with that being said, thanks for being on Visiblepreneur. This was really fun for our second take.
Yes, it was. Better than the first one.
Right, for sure. And of course, don't forget, for you viewers out there, we are on YouTube. So give us a thumbs up, subscribe to our YouTube channel, like us on Facebook as well too, and then give us a check out on Anchor, our audio only version, which goes out to Apple, Google, Cast, Spotify, Breaker, and there's a few others that can't remember their name, but that's all right. I'm just running with it. So with that being said, I got a surprise for you. So Kimberly, how about you give us a motivation?
A motivation?
Yes.
Oh, he totally surprised me too.
Yes.
Some motivation. Okay, let me think. How about always be striving? So this week, because it's the week of Thanksgiving.
Yeah.
I'll talk about gratitude. Is that
sure,
good?
Sure.
Because gratitude is directly linked to success. Actually, yesterday I did a live on this because they did a study on this, and it's linked to productivity. Gratitude. So if you can find something to be grateful for every single day, and if you're an entrepreneur or business owner, make it about your business. I mean, it can be about your family, of course, too, but include your business in there, because what you focus on, you will see more of. And there's a science behind that. With it activates your reticular activating system that's in your brain, and which is the part of your brain that helps you focus. So gratitude. There's my.
Yeah, thank you for
go.
that motivation quote, because I know I definitely needed it.
Not a quote, but
no, that's all right. We'll run with it.
Awesome.
All right. So with that being said, everyone take care. We'll see you on the next one.